Okay, so today we're shifting gears a bit. We're diving into some genuinely unsettling stories, real-life experiences people had at Airbnbs.
Yeah, these aren't your typical travel complaints. We're talking about encounters that are, well, truly frightening. Stuff that sticks with you.
Exactly. These come from personal accounts shared over on a YouTube channel. They're less bad review and more like straight-up horror movie setup.
Definitely. Moments where that sense of safety you expect just completely disappears, leaves you wondering.
Right. Let's jump into the first one. It starts with a group of college friends, planning a weekend away, party time.
They book this cabin through Airbnb, pretty remote location, but the organizer, she decides to go up a couple of days early.
For some solo time, right. Get away from it all.
Yeah, exactly. So picture this. The cabin's nice, secluded, surrounded by fields, and then this really dense forest right at the edge of the property.
Sounds idyllic almost, at first.
At first. But then she goes for a walk, explores near the forest edge, and stumbles upon something strange. An abandoned campsite, like old tents, huts, personal belongings just scattered around, weathered like it had been there a while but left in a hurry.
Oh, that's immediately creepy, just finding that out there.
Yes, it's a weird tone, right? But it gets worse. She heads back towards the cabin, looks across the field near the trees, and she sees someone just standing there watching the cabin, trying not to be obvious, kind of lurking at the tree line.
Whoa. Okay, chills. What did she do?
Instinct took over. She hid, got out of sight, and just watched this person.
Smart.
And then she sees this figure turn and walk into the forest, right onto that same faint trail she noticed near the abandoned camp.
Oh, man. That connection makes it so much worse.
Absolutely. So she's freaked out, obviously, runs back inside, locks every single door, every window, total lockdown.
I don't blame her one bit. Just the feeling of being watched like that.
And knowing they went towards that creepy campsite.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, it was a pretty sleepless night. Just this constant feeling of unease.
Waiting for something to happen.
And then it did. Middle of the night, complete silence, and then a smash. A rock crashes through one of the windows.
No way. So they actually did something.
They did. She looks out, heart pounding, just in time to see a figure running away, disappearing into the darkness towards the trees again.
Terrifying. Just absolutely terrifying.
She called the police, of course. They came, investigated.
But nothing, right?
Yeah.
Given the location and the darkness.
Exactly. No leads, no idea who it was or why. Just a shattered window, that abandoned camp, and a seriously scary memory.
Wow. Okay, let's move on. Story number 2. This one's about a solo traveler again, on a road trip.
Right, using Airbnbs for quick overnight stops. And the first one is in this tiny, tiny town, like seriously isolated.
Sets the scene already.
Yeah, she gets there late at night, and the first thing she notices is how quiet it is. Eerily silent, you know.
That can be unsettling in itself, especially when you're alone in a new place.
Definitely. And then, adding to the unease, she gets to the Airbnb itself, finds the front door unlocked.
Oh, come on.
Unlocked.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Maybe an oversight by the host? Who knows? But it's not exactly reassuring. Anyway, she's tired, long drive, so she locks it, goes to her room, crashes pretty quickly.
Makes sense. Just want to sleep at that point.
But then, later, she wakes up. Something woke her. A sound. Like a dull thump against the wall.
Okay, nope. Thumps in the night are never good.
Right. So she listens, heart probably racing, doesn't hear anything else for a bit. She decides to, cautiously check it out.
Brave. Braver than me, maybe.
She creeps out of the bedroom, looks towards the living room, which is dark, unlit.
And don't leave me hanging.
And she sees a man sitting on the couch, perfectly still, facing away from her.
What? Inside the house?
Inside the house, just sitting there in the dark, motionless.
Okay, that's nightmare fuel right there.
Absolutely. So she doesn't make a sound. Backs away slowly, quietly gets back into her bedroom, locks the door immediately.
Good call. Then what? Police.
Yep. Calls the police.
Yep.
But remember, tiny, isolated town, it takes them about an hour to get there.
An hour. Waiting in that room, knowing someone's just outside the door. That must have felt like forever. Did she hear anything else?
No. That's the other creepy part. Complete silence from the living room the entire time. Just waiting.
So the police finally show up.
They search the place. The man, gone.
Vanished.
But guess what they found?
Let me guess. The front door was unlocked again.
Bingo! Unlocked again. Police investigated. Host gave a refund, but zero explanation. Who was he? How did he get in? Why was he just sitting there? Nobody knows.
That's deeply unsettling. The lack of answers is almost worse.
It really is. Just leaves you with this horrible feeling of violation.
Okay, well. All right, third story. This time it's someone who uses Airbnb pretty often, seems comfortable with it, staying near family in Arizona.
Right. And this one starts off a bit odd right from check-in. She gets there, and before she can even punch in a code or look for a key, the host opens the door.
Okay, a little eager maybe, but not inherently scary yet.
Not yet, but maybe a bit unusual. Then the host insists on giving her a full tour of the house. Again, maybe just being friendly, but a bit unexpected for some rentals.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to get your bags inside and be left alone.
Exactly. So after this slightly over-involved welcome, the guest does something pretty standard these days, especially if you feel a little unsure.
Checks for hidden cameras.
You got it. Standard precaution. While she's doing that, she notices one door is locked. A closet door. Doesn't think too much of it at first. Figures it's just host storage.
Right, that happens. Owners keep personal stuff locked away.
Total normal. So fast forward to later that evening. She comes back to the Airbnb after being out, and the power is completely out in the house.
Oh, great. Just what you need in an unfamiliar place.
Yeah, and she can't find the breaker box anywhere inside, so naturally she texts the host.
Okay, standard procedure. What happens next?
This is where it gets weird. The host shows up incredibly fast, like suspiciously fast, and he's already got a flashlight with him.
Already prepared for a power outage he presumably didn't know about until she texted. That is odd.
Very odd. And he doesn't fiddle around looking for the breaker inside. He leads her straight to that locked closet door she noticed earlier.
The locked one. Okay, my alarm bells are ringing now.
He takes out a key, unlocks it, and reveals not a closet. It's a staircase leading down into a dark basement.
A basement she wasn't told about during the grand tour.
Exactly. A completely unmentioned basement hidden behind a locked door.
Nope. This feels bad.
It gets worse. The host then turns to her, hands her the flashlight, and asks her to hold it while she goes down into the basement first.
Get out. He wants her to go down there. Into the dark, unknown basement.
That was the request. And in that moment, you can imagine everything clicking into place for her. The weird welcome, the locked door, the power outage, the super fast arrival, now this hidden basement.
It feels like a trap, like something out of a horror movie.
That's clearly what she thought. Her instincts screamed danger. She didn't go down. She made an excuse, turned, and just bolted out of the house, ran to a neighbor's place.
Good for her. Absolutely the right call. Trust your gut.
Called the police from the neighbors. When they arrived, the host was still there, acting like it was all a big misunderstanding.
Of course. Oh, I was just going to check the breaker.
Pretty much. But the police checked outside and found the main breaker box for the house had been deliberately switched off.
Uh-huh. So the power outage wasn't accidental.
Doesn't seem like it. And they checked the basement, too. It was empty. Just a basement.
So, what happened? He claims misunderstanding. The breaker was flipped. Basement's empty.
Yeah.
It's all circumstantial, isn't it?
Exactly. No concrete proof of what his intentions might have been. But the sequence of events. The deliberate power cut leading her to a hidden basement, asking her to go first. It's incredibly suspicious and frightening. A total stalemate. Legally, but terrifying for her.
Wow. That one.
Yeah.
The deliberate nature of it makes it especially chilling. So, 3 stories, all real accounts, all highlighting just how vulnerable you can feel in someone else's space.
Absolutely. It's that breach of trust, that feeling of supposed safety turning into potential danger. Really makes you think.
It really does. Makes you pause and consider, what would you do in those situations? Does hearing this change how you might approach using rentals like Airbnb?
Food for thought, definitely.
Yeah.
Trusting your instincts seems to be the key takeaway from all of these.
For sure. Stay vigilant out there, everyone.
Indeed. Farewell for now.
And hey, if you found these stories as gripping and unsettling as we did, do us a favor like this. Share it and subscribe to the Horror Docs channel for more true encounters.